Good morning, distinguished guests. Welcome to the 2023 Tech Jigs Forum. I'm Patty, today's Master of Ceremonies. After several years of pandemic havoc, the pandemic is finally easing and the borders are gradually opening. I'm very happy that we can gather here today, and I'm honored to have all the key speakers to share their experiences and views. The speakers all have very special life experiences and outstanding achievements in the technology field. They are also passionate about their work, which is why I am very happy we are able to invite them to this event. Before we officially start today's sharing, we are honored to invite Deputy Minister Yizhuang Chen from our organizer, the National Science and Technology Council, NSTC, to give a speech. Welcome.
Good morning. Welcome to 2023 Tech Jigs. This is a really nice name. It is also a pleasant surprise to see such an excellent turnout. So congratulations to the organization team, and also thank you for your effort to make this forum possible. Now, of course, that we have to, and we would like to express our gratitude to our prominent speaker today, who flew all the way to Taiwan to share their experiences and their vision with us. So thank you for being here. Now, as we all notice, the world is changing very rapidly. Now, 5 months ago, for example, you never heard about ChatGPT, right? Now, your friends, everyone is using ChatGPT. And also many countries in the world, including Taiwan, are having serious meetings discussing the opportunity and the challenge that our society, their society are facing. What should we do about it? So on top of the rapid changing world, what should we do? Now, we at NSTC have many approaches, and on top of that is to focus on foresight technology, that including, of course, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and probably space technology. Also, smart cities, smart agriculture, smart medicine. Now, besides the technology side, another very important thing is to cultivate talents. Again, NSTC have many important mechanisms of doing that, and one very exciting one is in 2021, we launched a program called Girls in Cybersecurity, called JIGS, and that is especially for high school girls and female college students. Now, 1 year later, in 2022, we extend this program into a serious workshop. In workshop, we invite outstanding scholar, entrepreneurship to give our members talk, so then we could cultivate our female talents over a wide variety of fields. Now, today we're very lucky to have 3 outstanding speakers. They will share with us their concept and how they look into the education, career development, and entrepreneurship. We also invite 2 excellent JIGS members, to share with us how they apply their strength into technology-related industry. So our hope is to encourage more women step into this very exciting field. So with that, I would like to wish you a wonderful, fruitful, memorable meeting today, and wish you all healthy and prosperous. Thank you.
Thank you for the exciting speech. Deputy Minister, please stay on the stage a little longer. Today, our organizer have prepared a memorable souvenir of appreciation, which will be presented to the 3 speakers by Deputy Minister Will Ari, the founder and CEO of Women's Startup Lab, Winju Kim, the UX design lead of Google, and Elena Percival, the CEO and co-founder of Women Who Code. Please come up on stage. Deputy Minister Chen will present the gifts in order. Thank you. Welcome and bravo for them. Thanks for coming. This souvenir is a collaborative work of two Taiwanese artists, and the design is based on Taiwan's highest mountain, Jade Mountain. The artwork represents the spreading of infinite light in Taiwan's technological heritage. Also, it's a token of gratitude to the three speakers for their selfless contribution and experience in Taiwan's industry development and Taiwanese talents. We would like to send the three speakers on stage. We really thank the three speakers for coming so far to share their passion for the technology industry. To commemorate this special occasion with the three speakers and deputy minister and the rest of our distinguished guests, Guo Liangchen, the Director General of NSDC, and panel sections moderator Li Wenqi, the Chief Content Officer of Business Next Media Corp, up to the stage and join a group photo together. Thank you. And please follow the instruction by the photographer. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now please return to your seats. Thank you. Next, we will record this precious moment with our event guests. Let's take a group photo together with the guests in their seats. So right now, please take off your mask and stay in your seat and follow the photographer's instructions. It's a great moment. Please enjoy the photo together. And please look the direction to the photographer. Thank you so much. Smile. Next picture with thumb up. Yeah, show me your heart to everyone. Thank you, really appreciate. Now, it's a time to go to the speech. So now I will invite our first speaker today. So let's welcome the founder and CEO of Women's Startup Lab, Ari Horie. Bravo for her, who will share with us how to thrive with entrepreneurship mindset. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。
Wow. How to say in Taiwanese?
早安。
One more time.
早安。
早安. Very good. So my name is Ari Horie, a founder of Women's Startup Lab in Silicon Valley. Focuses on women entrepreneurship and supporting tech entrepreneurs to thrive. I was actually born in Japan, Hiroshima. And around 17 years old, I had an opportunity to go to the United States. And since then, I have been there and pursuing my passion. Many of you are old enough, very old enough, I don't mean any offense, that you had enough experience what you like, what you don't like. As ever-changing society with the technology, you wonder, what do I need to do? How should I stay on top of my career and my success? And how many of you kind of have this, oh my gosh, am I doing enough? It's a little bit of antsiness, worry. How many of you feel that way about the current situation? Some of you. Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about why entrepreneurship mindset is for everyone. And even if you're not going to become entrepreneur, the entrepreneurship mindset is so critical for all of us to adapt into the change and thrive in this society without losing your mind. Some of the crazy things happen in my life. Yes, I have received some of the award, but I never thought one day I'd become a Barbie doll. Do I look like a blonde and skinny, tall, typical Barbies? Some are lying to be nice. Yeah, I know. But when I received email around December, Christmas time, I thought, this is a scam, right? You are chosen by Barbie. Okay, they want me to pay something, so I deleted. Then I saw another email, and it said Mattel. And this time, it caught my eye. And I realized time have changed. We can decode our old thinking of what it is, beauty or success, anything. And even though they still made a skinny Ari, but the whole point was I'm proud to be in front of anyone, anybody, in any culture to say, we get to take own value and you can be your own role model, right? So today I want you to think crazy. When you hear the word crazy, how do you feel? It's like going wild. Some of you said the word. What do you think about crazy? Exciting. Very good. Anybody else this side? Crazy means what? Amazing. You guys are so positive. What are you guys eating in Taiwan? So I love the word crazy because it kind of pushes you off the limit, right? But you can say, I'm crazy about. What does that mean? I'm crazy about Korean pop star. I don't know any of them, so I can't even say any of acronym. I get so confused with all the Silicon Valley acronym too. Anyway, so I'm crazy about means I'm really excited and I'm in love with that person. Or I can say, that's crazy. That means like, whoa. Can you say that? Whoa. That's crazy. Yeah, so when you go to America, that's what you have to say. Anytime you're listening to someone, you say, that's crazy, whoa. And then you will be instantly connected to American people. Then the other part is, I'm crazy about, wow, that's crazy. And you are thinking crazy, which is out of your realm, okay? And so entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship mindset is pushing yourself to where you want to go beyond what you think its limit. I want you to have fun with this thinking. So let me share some of my story. Today, I want you to listen, not just to my talk, but the rest of the talk. Speakers, as well as the people sitting next to you that you're going to say hi with this. curiosity and wonder. Yes, curiosity, wonder. I would like to ask you to turn around to someone next to you that it's not your friend. If you came with your friends, turn around, somebody in the back. And then, wait. And then you look at their eye like this, and I say, wow, with a curiosity and wonder. Can you do that? Yes? Okay. Then, if you just stare at them, you're creepy. You don't want to do that. So you can say, my name is blah, and then you can say, I'm crazy about. So you can let them know not what job you have, not what company you work with, but let them know what are you crazy about, what are you passionate. So we're going to take this quick moment to practice opening up your mind with a curiosity, wonder, so the rest of the day you absorb things more than what you would gain. And this is my secret. Once you start being happy, you think I will be a great speaker. So make sure when you say hi, you look at that person with a curiosity, wonder, but make other people happy. Can you do that with the word? Yes, we can. Because if a whole audience, all of us can be curious and happy, guess what? What kind of connection can we have today? And that's what I have been doing through supporting women entrepreneurs. It's not just they get better business person or connection, but as a person, they attract the right people and contagious curiosity and excitement about their vision that they become unstoppable. So let's take a moment, say hi to the people with a curiosity and wonder. Go. Okay. All right, come back. I know. Some of you are shy that you didn't say, but I felt your curiosity, even though you didn't talk to anybody. That's okay. Okay, come back. So, please raise your hand if you became curious. Okay, now you're excited about people around you. Did you know they're really smart people? Okay, I really think so, because they woke up really early to come to the right conferences. So now that you became a very curious mind, like a little child, and if you open up, those who will see something wonder in the graphic. But those who are not curious, you won't see it. So did you see some proof that you are a curious childlike mind? Yes? Okay. Because the Totoro only shows up those who has that pure heart. So some of you can see it. I think you need the glasses. Impossible. There's a few English word that I really enjoy and embrace and part of my entrepreneurship thinking. What it said here on the screen? Impossible. Let's say in a way that like really impossible. Ready, set, go. Impossible. Yeah? Well, whether you admit or not, some of us often have this music in your head. My 20-year-old son, who's a college student, often said, "Mommy, that's difficult." So some of us said, "I don't have enough time." Yeah? Some of you say that all the time, yeah. And to your wife, and you get in trouble. Yeah, I don't have a time, it's impossible. But this word, you know, magic always hidden inside. Yeah? I'm impossible. I grew up in Japan, and often well-meaning folks around me used to say, that's difficult, that's not possible. And I used to think, I'm not good enough. And I wouldn't even try. And I thought the world is a very difficult place to grow up within. And I realized many magic happened in my life now that I'm celebrating 50 years old. I find impossible means I am possible. The other word I really love is this word. Can you read? Yeah, thank you, because every time I try to pronounce, it's very difficult. Extraordinary. Some of you are really good. So extraordinary. Let me ask you, how many of you think I'm an extraordinary individual? Can you raise a hand, please? Oh, thank you. I'm glad I have confidence in Taiwan now because the minister and everybody else is raising a hand. Yes, extraordinary. This is a big word. Some of us, and country I came from, Japan, they're very humble. Many people wouldn't raise hands and said, I'm extraordinary. Extraordinary means I am a very special and gigantically wonderful individual. That's what it means if you apply to the individual. But this word, I decided to embrace this because inside this word, it's basically little extra. Little extra that makes you extraordinary. So what can you do every single day, little extra? Can you do that? So we often think life is impossible or difficult. But extraordinary things come from little things. And I would love to share some of my story, and hopefully it resonates with you, but you also find your extraordinary moment that you had that made a huge impact on you, but extra that you can give to others that will make their life extraordinary. This is a picture of elementary school student. When I was growing up, all girls had red backpack as you start elementary school, 7 years old. And all boys had black. I grew up in a single parents family. My mom raised me alone, and I was only child. And at that time, people really looked down on single mom. You weren't loved enough, you weren't good enough to keep your husband. And you're only child, so you must be selfish. You're not gonna grow up and be successful in Japanese culture. So on the first day of school, my mother gave me pink backpack. It's a little extra, but it was disastrous. I was so sad. I tried to hide in my backpack and trying to put the jackets on and try to hide because I was actually really shy. I know I don't look that way. The American water got me out here. So pink backpack was really, really hard on me because you remember when you were 7, you're trying to find identity, you try to fit in. And I went to school and then come home, and I cry. I told my mom, people picking on me, saying that I don't have a father, I'm trying to stand out, and that's not what it is. I don't want to go to school. And my mother said, okay, so what? So what other people said? Is it true? So she wouldn't stop bugging me. Is it true? Really? Is it true? Explain to me. She was relentless to question me if I should believe what other people said. And she said, I want you to accept your life will be different and embrace the differences and learn to make your own decision. Believe what you believe and believe what other people say. But it's ultimately always your choice what you take in. So I had to learn to be okay with me being different. So some of you were trying to fit in. Some of you trying to acquire skill that everybody asks you to be successful. But do take enough time to find something that's different, something that it's unique to you, and embrace the differences instead of, oh, I am this. I am not so pretty like other people. I used to think that way, as if that was a big deal, but I was a big deal then. Now I don't really care. But when I used to think, that used to take the energy away from me. I try to be away from people. And so think about those negative thoughts or look at how special you are in every way. Because entrepreneurship is begin to see what so you are unique about, not just the business, but as individual. Embrace your uniqueness. This is Ellie Kelly on the left. I was in America over 15 years, maybe more. I saw a number of female entrepreneurs weren't getting support. The community was 92% of venture capitalists were male, and engineers were male. And I saw many women entrepreneurs present, and I just understood what they're talking about. They're talking about the importance of education. They were talking about the community. They were talking about patients who suffer from terminal ill, and I wanted to help my parents, and I had to suffer because this technology wasn't there. Therefore, I want to start the startup so other family can take care of their parents well, not like I had to suffer. I met so many wonderful women entrepreneurs, yet I didn't see. The audience in Silicon Valley didn't quite get it. So not only trying to sell their business or be understood and getting funding, often they ended up educating other people all the time because people who have money and influence were male. And they're smart, well-meaning men, but they just didn't understand. And women too, right? We don't know how it's like to be wheelchair-bounded. Even if we have a well-meaning heart, we're smart, but our imagination limit based on the experience we have. So as I saw so many of the women are not getting opportunity, not that I wanted to sing a song of a pity women, let me help you, that wasn't it. But I saw the real damage in the entire society. What if those women's ideas are never executed? Then what happened? What happened to all those ideas that come from area that often men are not around and often relate to human being, the cares, quality of life. And so I thought, well, maybe I can do something. But I said, I can't be a leader. I'm not good enough. You know, a little sorry song. My English not good enough. So Ellie said, what? Why can't you do this women's startup like a thingy that you're doing? It's like, well, you know, I can do a lot of things, and I don't need to know everything, but you know, my English is not good enough. I can't be a leader. And she said, oh, you gotta be kidding. She said, okay, from now on, like tomorrow, I'll be here 8 o'clock from San Francisco, where I was in Menlo Park, which is a long way. And I'll be your voice. I'm a journalist, and my passion to help women. So I will write anything you said, and we will work together. So that's 2013. She was my little extra that made our organization, our passion, and impact to others extraordinary initiative. Because she said, I will be your extra to let's do something extraordinary. What can you do for yourself, extra, to alter your success an impact in society and also for your career and the family. It's a little extra. I had this blockage, my English is not good enough. And then little extra, she came in and she removed it. Being entrepreneurship mindset is you don't always try to do everything yourself, but find your tribe. Find your extra. Do you know what this is? Well, I think it's cute. Nobody's laughing, but I think it's fun. It's a pet rock. Someone in Mexico came up with this. He packages a rock and starts selling as a pet rock. Because of the curiosity he had and the fun, it was start selling everywhere. Do you think that rock was that special? No. But what it was the thoughts of that funniness. Somebody can seriously sell the rock, and people who received the package, they had so much fun receiving an extraordinary gift, I guess. And so, in order for you to succeed, often all of us work harder, smarter, and get some license, all that. But how many of you realize that you lost that fun, excitement? This is a reminder to change your circumstance, and having an entrepreneurship mindset is being creative and having fun. But don't just keep it yourself, but contagious, which is share that passion with other people. So be fun and creative. Make other people take action with you. Don't think your passion and idea is silly, because many of you has an amazing background to create something and be able to share, especially in this technology era. So as a closer, I want to remind you to be curious and work with wonder, and be, I'm impossible. And find your extras everywhere, not just within you, but be one for others. And be fun and creative. I want to tell one short story before I go. My second son, he's 14 years old. He said he was very lonely when he went to Japan for 1 year during the pandemic. And because he was so lonely, he decided to devote himself typing, like fast typing. And he wanted to make it faster and faster. And he went crazy in a good way. He even learned a new typing keyboard that he can increase his performance. And then he downloaded a free app. He figured this out. I didn't know anything about this. He downloaded an app and figured out where he made a mistake or which keyboard he used the most. And then he started doing that in Chinese and Japanese. And it became a little fun for him to explore. Then one day, he decided to design a keyboard. I haven't tested, so I don't know how good it is, but he created one. Then he went on the internet of a bunch of people who's crazy about keyboard. And he shared his idea, and as of today, someone in Australia raised his hand and said, I can make it, and he actually made a prototype for him. And when I heard this story, I thought it was amazing. I think it's amazing. And I said, wow, that's global. You did it yourself, all this? So I was excited as a mom. That's normal, right? And then he said, he just gave me really this annoying eye rolling. That's so annoying, Mom. It's not a big deal. He said that. And then 6 months later, I said same thing. It's global. You did it yourself. And he goes, stop, Mom. It's not a big deal. And so what I got after 7 months of pesting him saying that this is good for college essay, right? Yes, it's extraordinary, our generation. I do women startup lab work, try to make women entrepreneurs have a more opportunity globally. So I still say, let's do global. Let's internationalize it. Then I realized he was saying, you guys are so outdated. It's really not a big deal. They don't even think this is global because they just go on the internet and they have a bunch of people who's from different part of the world and providing a skill. So I just want to leave a thoughts of curiosity and all that wonderful stuff. And why I'm thinking, and we're thinking, we're making global, and we're making a huge changes. Meantime, our younger generation are out there. Their world, the way they associate world, and through technology, completely different. It's not global. It's not cool. It's just not a big deal. So I just want to leave the thoughts with you that how extraordinary place we are in, but also we have to recognize huge generation gap. And also the younger folks are looking at the things differently. And all of us have the responsibility to accept some of the way we think have to shift to really embrace the younger generation as well. But all those impossible stuff are possible. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Ari, for your exciting speech. Thank you so much. Please return to your seat. And before we start the second keynote speech, I want to introduce about Winju Kim. She was recognized as one of the top 18 women leading the way in wearable tech and VR in 2016, and as one of the top 50 wearable tech game changer for 2016 by Wearable magazine. So right now it's the time we want to welcome our second speaker, Google UX design lead Winju Kim, who brings us the power of imagination, navigating the rapidly transforming world of technology and workforce. Welcome.
Wow. Okay, let me organize this. This is my first time speaking in this many people, so bear with me. Please be with me, smile, welcome me. I'm very nervous. I was 27 years old when I first came in the United States from South Korea. I didn't speak English at all at the time. I could only speak few things like hello, thank you, sorry, excuse me. But my real struggle was I couldn't understand what other people saying to me. With a Chicago accent, over-friendly American style, slangs, idiom, it was all too much for me to handle. I was very overwhelmed, scared, I'm confused. One day, I went to a theater to watch a movie, The Matrix. Some of you might be too young to know this movie, but I highly recommend it anyway. Before the movie started, I went to buy some popcorn and a Coke. I handed over my credit card to the cashier. He said something that I couldn't understand. I was worried that there might be something wrong with my credit card or the transaction hadn't gone through. So I nervously asked him, "Excuse me?" Have you ever been in such a situation that you had to say, "Excuse me," because you didn't understand? You don't speak, "Excuse me," confidently. You say, "Excuse me," thinking you did something wrong. He repeated himself loudly, "Bra, bra." I still couldn't catch any single word. So I said, "I'm so sorry. can you speak slowly? And he said, enjoy your movie. I was so embarrassed. Good morning, everyone. I am Unju Kim. I'm a Google UX the lead based in the Silicon Valley. Hold on. Okay. I was born and raised in South Korea. I studied visual design at Ewha Women's University, and I started my first job as a web designer. Over the 26 years, I've been working for several major global companies like Microsoft, Motorola, Qualcomm, Samsung, and Google, where I advanced my skills and gained a lot of experiences. Throughout my career, I've had an opportunity to work back and forth South Korea and the United States, which has allowed me to learn from diverse perspectives and different culture. I'm very honored to be here today to share my story and discuss the power of imagination. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the significant transformation that we've all experienced over the past few years. Since the onset of the global pandemic 3 years ago, our world has changed dramatically. Google, Amazon, Dropbox, Spotify, Meta, Shopify, Microsoft, Square, what do they have in common? Of course, they are global IT companies and probably the most recognizable brand, but they have all undergone a big change, which is they have embraced new working model with a fully remote or hybrid working arrangement. These changes in a way that we work is not limited to these companies alone. The pandemic has forced all workplaces to come up with a new way we collaborate in such unexpected challenges. We've been living in this reality for 3 years. That is a long time to accept as new normal. What changed? Many of us have lived our lives in a constant state of motion, always moving forward without stopping to reflect. Be at the top of the school, to go to a good college, find a good job to make good money, and always strive to move forward without really thinking what this is about. It's like trying to catch a train. If we miss the train, we feel like we lost out. But without really considering where the train is headed to and why we want to be on it. But pandemic has put a pause on us. It has forced us to stay at home with family. Some people lost their job, some people got sick, some even died because of COVID-19. It has given us the opportunity to reflect on what is truly important to us and our family. We are now seeing a new trend, quiet quitting or great resignation. It's not that all bad. It just means that people are diversifying their life options and pursuing what really matters to them. What about relationships? The employers and employees do not have lifelong relationships anymore. We don't commit to the company for forever my life. And they are not even open one-to-one. I work for Google, but I am also a writer. The traditional top-down hierarchical relationship got changed as well. Speaking as an introverted person, I am an introverted person, in-person meeting can be very overwhelmed when there is an extroverted person speak loudly with exaggerated gesture. But in a video conference, everyone gets an equal size window. I can adjust the volume or I can even mute them. This creates more fair space for everyone. In addition, technical job skills are no longer enough to secure a decent job and maintain a career ladder. Technology is evolving so quickly that yesterday's skills no longer be useful today's. Thus, learnability, adaptability, and resilience are becoming increasingly crucial in today's job market. Here are 15 job skills for 2025 surveyed by World Economic Forum. Take time. Everyone is trying to take a picture. You see, thinking, problem solving, creativity, originality, social influence, resilience, stress tolerance, and flexibility, and emotional intelligence. Those soft skills are becoming more critical than ever. The change is not just for players. Our playground have also transformed dramatically. COVID-19 was not a local event, but global one that we all had to tackle together. We had to learn from each other's experiences, no matter whether you are in Africa, Asia, Europe, or in the USA. Suddenly, we realized that we are all in this together. During the pandemic, we couldn't get physically close to one another, but we still had to continue our work, education, socializing, and leisure activities. This meant digital transformation that traditional offline settings, such as schools, businesses, companies, and a conference like this, all had to move online. In 2021, Harvard University announced that they would not hire new professors, but would recruit digital content producers to make their classes more accessible online. Personally, I have given many online classes globally, including the USA, Canada, South Korea, and China, and I'm still offer online classes. Digital platforms such as Netflix, YouTube, Instagram have transformed the way we consume and share information. They enable the fast spreading news and releasing content on the same day globally and are targeting local and global consumers easily. Traditionally, businesses had to carefully weigh the costs and benefits for globalization and localization. But with these new digital playground, globalization and localizations are no longer two separate activities. We need to consider both together. That's globalization. It's a combination of a globalization and localization, which means a product or service are developed and distributed globally, but is also customized to meet the needs for local users and customers. How about technology paradigms? How we interact with technology? Technology always begins with human needs. The services and products that we create are designed to improve our lives. As these new services products are introduced, We become their users and customers as we use them. Technology evolves to address pain points and our unmet needs. Eventually, these technologies become a part of our lifestyle. This is ongoing cycle change that continues to shape and improve our lives. Let me give you an example. In the past, if we needed to transfer money, we would go to a bank. But today, we use digital banking through our computer, smartphone, and the internet. We don't physically visit a bank, but instead, we can complete transactions with a simple touch interaction. The interface and information are pretty much standardized to all users, making the user experience to be more reactive. Here is another example. Turning on a light in our home, we would walk over to the switch to turn it on. However, with the emergence of IoT, ambient computing sensors, and voice recognitions, we can now use our voice to control our devices. I can simply say, turn on the light, play music, open the door. This conversational interaction allows us to be more active players in the process. The system needs to understand our intent and adapt to our context in order to function properly. Here is my another English episode. Ordering a sandwich at Subway is very difficult. Too many choices, too many questions. But I do love Subway sandwich. One day, I went to a Subway and I ordered my typical menu, number 1. And then she said, what kind of bread do you want? I can handle it, white. And then she said, what kind of cheese do you want? We have cheddar, mozzarella, provolone, blah, 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 which I couldn't understand. But I knew this is about cheese. I don't like cheese, so I said, mm-mm. And she said, okay, no cheese. What kind of topping do you want? Do you know what I said? No. I said, everyone. But she got it. She said, okay, you want everything? And then I got my sandwich, thank God. When we engage in conversation with one another, there is so much more happening beyond just a word being spoken. We have eye contact, body language, pause, I just did and intonation. All of this human utilize to understand each other. Creating natural conversation is an incredibly complex challenge, but we are making stride toward it. Now, I'd like to share a video with you. This is a demo video that was presented at the 2018 Google I/O conference. Even in the United States, 60% of small businesses do not have an online booking system. So customers must call to make an appointment or reservation. In the video, Google Assistant makes an actual phone call to a hair salon to make an appointment on behalf of customer. Let's take a look.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me one. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
It's truly remarkable, isn't it? Google Assistant said, just like a real person, and handled an unexpected situation very well, like we don't have an available time at noon. I'm very excited about the future of generative AI, like ChatGPT. I'm sure you guys are all using it, with this kind of a conversational interaction. In the current era of transformation, it has become increasingly important for individuals to become a hybrid talent. Hybrid talent are those who combine a diverse range of skills and abilities, enabling them adapt and success in the constantly evolving world. What are the key characteristics to become a hybrid talent? First, be unique and flexible. Everyone is unique. We are all born with our authentic personality. If you don't pursue your own originality, you are more likely somewhat easily replaceable with someone else. You need to develop your own point of view, seek your own dream, and find your own resilient techniques. The company values more and more individuals could bring different ideas and perspectives. And we also have to be flexible to partner with other unique members, and you have to be also flexible to adapt to constant changes. Second, be critical thinker and problem solver. In a world that is rapidly changing, the ability to think outside the box and come up with a creative solution to complex problem is an invaluable asset. Hybrid talent are able to approach the problems from variety of angles using their diverse set of skills and identify new opportunities and drive innovation. Whether it is in the field of healthcare, finance, or engineering, hybrid talent are often driving force behind game-changing innovation. Third, be confident and vulnerable. While these two may seem like opposites, hybrid talent are able to strike the right balance between the two. On the one hand, you should be confident in yourself. Take a full ownership of what you are doing and promote yourself. As an Asian woman, I was raised to be humble, like in Ari shared with her experience as well. I truly, truly understand the good intention and the social value of being humble. But a lot of the time, it carries undesired baggage of underestimating myself. It's important to understand that confidence does not equal to arrogance. You can take a pride in your accomplishment, be confident in your abilities, but still remain humble. On the other hand, being vulnerable is just as important as being confident. Vulnerability is a mindset that allows you to open up, be your authentic self, ask for help when you need it, and trust in power of human connection. Embracing vulnerability takes tremendous strength and courage, but is a critical component of success. By being both confident and vulnerable, you can achieve great things and create meaningful relationships with others. Then how can we become such a talent? That's where the power of imagination comes. Imagination is a force that has shaped the course of human history, from the earliest cave paintings to the most innovative technological advancement of our time. It all starts with a curiosity. The second time we are hearing curiosity after Ari's talk. the desire to know more, to learn more, and to understand more about the world around us. Curiosity drives us to observe everything surrounding us. You may find a pet rock, to question everything that you see, and then to connect dots in new and innovative ways. It's through curiosity that we can unlock true potential of our imagination. And it's through the imagination that we can bring about positive changes in our communities. As we explore the power of imagination, we must also consider how we can use technology. Technology can be a powerful tool for transformation, for sure, but look how quickly generative AI is evolving. It's very scary. We must ask ourselves whether it's being used for the benefit of humanity, for the harmony of nature and environment, and for everyone's happiness. This is where our individual power comes in. Each of us has our own unique imagination, our own perspective, and our own happiness. We need to recognize and trust in ourselves and our abilities. When individuals have their own point of view and their own strengths, we can come together and build a better world together. I'm going to show you another amazing video that shows how technology can change people's lives and bring them greater happiness.
My mother speaks Mandarin, and I speak English, which is a strange thing. 他讲英文，我可以听得懂，可是有时候我讲不来嘛。
We'd love to be able to share with you a new prototype we've been working on. You should be seeing what I'm saying, just transcribed for you in real time, kind of like subtitles for the world.
What we're working on is technology that enables us to break down language barriers, taking years of research and Google Translate and bringing that to classes.
You see me? Oh, sí, sí te veo. I'm actually looking straight into your eyes, and it seems like you're looking right at me.
Oh, sí, sí, estoy viendo lo que estás diciendo para ayudarte.
Making access to information just instant and intuitive. By doing that, technology fades into the background, and we're more connected with the people and the things around us. Giving people the gift of communicating with anyone, no matter what language they speak, I think is a really powerful thing.
Que tengo que dialogar con muchas personas que solamente hablan inglés. Como magia para mí, porque voy a ver cosas que voy a entender lo que ellos dicen por completo y...
所以可以互相沟通。我爱你。
Oops. Can you make a slide, one slide before? Before. One, next. Next. We already saw the video. Okay, good. Okay, it was amazing, very touching video, right? It all starts with us, me. We need to keep our true selves and remember that we have power to change and create change. While I was growing up, my mother used to tell me, I'm a woman, I can be a leader, that being ambitious was dangerous in the world. I refused to accept, and I wanted to experience all by myself to see, touch, and feel everything. So I made a decision to step out of my comfort zone. The journey hasn't been easy. You remember my movie theater episode? Every day was just like that. Even now, I still struggle with this, imposter syndrome, feeling that I'm not good enough, I don't belong here. But I know that these thoughts are just a ghost in my mind, and many of us experience the same feeling. We all face I'm not good enough feeling at some point in our life. But it's okay not to be enough. One thing that I did, I didn't give up on me. I have the power to imagine who I want to be, how I want to live, how I want to contribute to the world. It's me living and building, designing my lives. The power of imagination is not limited. I urge all of you, embrace your curiosity, unrelease your imagination, and use that unique strength for a community to transform the world around you. And most importantly, I hope you take away one thing from my talk. Believe in yourself. You have the power to change your life. The power is within you. Thank you.
Thank you, Unju, for the inspiring speech. Please return to your seat. Thank you. Finally, I would like to invite the CEO and co-founder of Women Who Code, Elena Percival, to share with us Envision Tech industry with a collaborative future. Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Elena Percival, CEO and co-founder of Women Who Code, the world's largest and most active community of diverse women technologists. How many of you have been to a Women Who Code event? How many of you have heard about Women Who Code before coming today? How many of you have helped to build, organize, or speak at a Women Who Code event? Got a few of you. Look around. Look at the hands that are up. You're going to want to talk to them later. The world is shifting right now. Every industry is becoming a technology industry. Whether your interest is shipping, fashion, media, healthcare, finance, farming, all industries are creating a new digital transformation, and it's on us to continue to learn, continue to change, and continue to grow with that times. We heard us talking about ChatGPT, and what we know is that change is inevitable, and it's on us to adapt to that because it's not going back. It's here, and it's going to move forward. So thank you, all of you, for being here today to invest in yourself, to be thinking about how to grow, how to connect, how to continue to expand what you're working on and who you're connected to. So I'd love to build on what Ari did earlier and continue to connect. One of the most important things that can come out of today is not what you hear from any of us up here on the stage, but the connections that you make, because community is powerful. Studies say that through community, we live longer, we're happier, we're healthier, but it also helps us to achieve more than what we could achieve on our own. you all here are part of a community. So I want to take a Women Who Code activity, and what we love to do is at events share out a little tidbit about yourself to start revealing who you are beyond the stranger who's sitting next to you. So I think you already have started to build a connection with someone earlier today. So let's move back into that, because this isn't the only time you're going to be speaking to them during my talk. So it's time to build that relationship and get comfortable. So last time you shared what you're passionate about. This time, I'd love for you to just share if you could choose between visiting the mountain and spending a day there or spending a day at the beach. Which one would you choose? All right. Now turn to your new friend, and if you didn't do it last time or you were afraid to turn to someone you didn't know, feel free to switch it up, but you're building that connection with that person. So please share mountains or the ocean. All right. So for me, it's very difficult to choose between the two. I love the mountains, but I could also spend days at sea. So in building those connections, it's incredibly important, especially when we're faced with challenges, to have people within your community to be able to lean on in the moments that are challenging, to be able to uplift and use your skills to be able to elevate them in reinforcing what your own knowledge is. And so in thinking about why some of these challenges and why having a strong community is so important, I'll look at some numbers. 3 years ago, the world changed. We haven't been experiencing community the way we did before. And we're going through a period of looking back and figuring out what community is today. And it continues to be important. Some of the things that we hear with Women Who Code is that often a third of women in tech say they're the only in the room, or they're 3 times more likely to be viewed as junior. Once COVID hit, 25% of women were saying they were thinking about taking a step back in their career. We have tremendous and unique pressures that create opportunity. And I'm here to tell you a secret. The easiest way to create greater equality among women and girls in the tech industry is by investing in the incredible talent in the industry today, helping them thrive, by supporting that industry as we develop pipelines coming into the tech industry. We'll see a stronger and richer tech industry. And some numbers behind that. So what often happens is around the 10-year mark, women at a rate of about 50% end up leaving their tech industry. This is higher than we see in other STEM areas and higher than men leave the tech industry. And every time we can create a sense of belonging, develop new skills, help to envision a leadership pathway, and ultimately retain that individual on her chosen career path, it represents a 300 million Taiwanese dollar lifetime earnings increase. 300 million going to her family, her community, has a tremendous impact, especially when we're looking at scale. So what we hear loud and clear is you belong. The tech industry needs you. If you look at top job lists, probably about 6 of them are going to be in the tech industry. We know that the market currently can't support the needs for the number of engineers and technologists, and we know this number is growing. You're not alone. You belong. And through this, there's opportunity to create more engagement, more community, more leadership. And if you see something that can be changed, if it doesn't exist, build it. This is what I did in seeing the opportunities, because challenges are really an opportunity to create change. This is what I did in co-founding Women Who Code. Our mission is to empower diverse women to excel in technology careers. And through that mission, we have grown over the past 12 years to become the largest and most active community of diverse women technologists. What we're focused on doing is changing the face of leadership to be more inclusive. And we know that this is important because when women are included at the leadership level, companies have a stronger return on investment. When teams include women, they're more creative and smarter as a collective. Women aren't a minority. They represent half of the population. We're using the products, we're driving innovation, and everyone in this room has power as builders, makers, innovators, leaders, and in the future work that you're going to be bringing to this field. And with power comes responsibility to think about what your role is in this process. At Women Who Code, when I say we're the most active community, we put on an average of 5 free technical events every single day throughout the year. This is about 2,000 opportunities to give a talk, to demonstrate your leadership, and also help to support the community around you. So if you haven't yet given a talk at Women Who Code, you saw some hands up earlier. Can you raise your hands again? The leaders here in Taipei who can give you an opportunity to step into a leadership role, to share out your expertise. And I was at a Women Who Code event about 2 weeks ago, and there was a speaker, and she said when she first started being a software engineer, she had gotten an opportunity to give a 5-minute talk at a Women Who Code event, and she'd never given a talk before, and she had only just entered the tech industry. And it was an opportunity for her. That got recorded, it got put on YouTube, and today, she's had the opportunity to speak all over the world. She was a far better speaker and charismatic than I am. I was so impressed with her, but that opportunity. And the leader said, we don't know about her. She's just getting started. But we are a space where you can have your first opportunity. And so it was the right moment to be able to take that on and be able to become a leader. And so again, I encourage each of you to consider sharing out your expertise. If you're nervous, ask for 90 seconds. My first Women Who Code talk was a 90-second talk, but it gives you a moment to demonstrate leadership in a safe space. And you might be able to expand upon that and give that talk inside of your company. And then maybe deliver it at a conference. What's happened in the past 3 years is we were doing those 2,000 events in person up until 2020. And then in 2020, we needed to do all of those events in a remote environment. And this was forced evolution. We had to change. We had to change with the times, but it created an incredible opportunity. In 2019, Women Who Code was serving members in about 70 countries, or 70 cities, and about 25 countries. But by taking all of those events online, it created access. And now we're serving them in 147 countries. And that means that you don't have to be here in Taipei to be able to have access to Women Who Code's community. You can be anywhere in the country. And you don't have to be able to find a sitter or get across town or be able to come in. It's available to you. Our expertise is available to you when you're ready to accept it. And this is represents our on-demand channel that we're now able to have recordings. And we have thousands of recordings. And no matter what your area of interest is, we have different tracks and topics because we're putting on almost 2,000 events per year. So what you're interested in, we have expertise in, and you're able to access that. And practicing leadership. Leadership doesn't come with a title. It comes at all levels of your career and in your role. And so you're able to practice leadership when you're a student, in your first role, at the executive level. Practicing leadership is about elevating those around you. It's about helping to move things forward, to having a vision. There's so many different definitions of leadership and so many different types of leadership that you are and you're going to become. Women Who Code also elevates role models. When we were first getting started, there were a couple of leaders, Sheryl Sandberg, that the media talked about over and over again. But it turns out there are thousands of incredibly talented, diverse leaders already shaping technology, building, leading, innovating, the products, we just heard from two of them, the products and the tools that you're using every single day. And so creating a pathway to continue not only to elevate the role models in the industry, but to give you space to become one of those role models. I was speaking with a woman early on who was a CIO at a company when I was getting started with Women Who Code. And she had this, I need to work really hard inside of my company. And there was a young woman who was a member of our organization who went to her and was elevating that she was the only executive in the company who was a woman, especially in the technology space. And these were some of the needs of the women in the industry. And she realized by stepping up and being willing to stand on this stage, to be willing to be a role model, isn't necessarily something that you're wanting to do just for yourself or even willing to do for yourself. But it's what the community needs because so many feel alone or are viewed as more junior than they actually are. So when you're willing to give that talk, when you're willing to elevate your profile as a leader, you're becoming something for those who are in the industry and those who are coming in later. And belonging is such a critical aspect, and it's such a subtle thing. I was speaking with some of the Women Who Code Taipei members last night. And one of our leaders said something that really struck me. She'd been in the tech industry for 15 years. She was brilliant. But she didn't have other women on her team, or there were only 2 on a large team. And by being connected to community, it helped to have a sense of belonging, to be reminded that this industry is incredible and you belong here. And it's those moments where maybe you're on a bad project or there's a colleague that isn't jiving with you, or you are concerned about the current market conditions, when that sense of community is there to remind you that you belong. And we're having an incredible impact, because if we can just keep for 80% of Women Who Code members have said that they've had a positive career outcome. And if that just represents a small pay increase, Women Who Code is already having a 30 billion Taiwanese dollar annual market impact. Again, $30 billion. So please, all of you, take advantage of our programming so that you are part of that story of earning more, of thriving in the tech industry, of having a sense of belonging. But the most important thing that you can do is bring our mission into your day-to-day, into your companies, advocate for inclusive practices and policies. Come together as a community so that the other people on your team who are from diverse communities can have a sense of belonging. So this is your other opportunity to connect with your new friend. What I'd like for you to do is think for a second about how you can take an inclusive practice into your company or into your life, into something that you do to help elevate more diverse women to thrive in the tech industry. What would you do? All right, now please turn to your neighbor and share out your idea for how you can have a strong impact, how you could have a small impact inside of your organization or your life. Okay. All right. So inclusion is not by desire, it's by design. And imagine if next year, when this event is taking place, what if all of you have started to take steps toward your big idea, your extra, as Ari said? Think about the change, the impact that you collectively will have been able to bring about. So when you're thinking about the organizations that you work with, think about how you can design for more inclusion around the hiring process, how you can advocate for the diverse individuals inside of your organization, and how you can support your team members, yourself, the diverse leaders in your organization. And take those small, imperfect steps forward. It takes incredible bravery to begin to take those steps. So I hope all of you will join in Women Who Code's vision of seeing women thrive as leaders and technologists, because we all have the power to create change. We all have lines of influence within us and within our connections and our community. And it starts here. With making a commitment to taking those small, imperfect steps forward toward your big idea, toward your vision of a more inclusive industry. So thank you, everyone. And I hope before you leave, you'll share with your team members or your new friends a timeline to give yourself accountability for when you think that you could take that first imperfect step forward, that first small step in your idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena, for the wonderful speech. You can return to your seat. Thank you. The TechJix program is promoted by NSDC and hopes to have more integration, cooperation, and exchange changes through inviting different sections, female leaders in the tech field, and to workshops, forums, and conferences, or speakers or panelists to share their experience to each other. So I want to thank you again for the 3 speakers sharing. I'm sure that the audiences are deeply inspired by their astonishing speech. So next, I want to invite the TechJix representative, Xin Dian Lin, the co-founder and general manager of Lysic Digital Technology. Welcome. And then we want to invite Jiayou Guo, the chairman of Taiwan Digital Diplomacy Association. Welcome. And then we want to invite Elena Percival, the CEO and co-founder of Women Who Code. Welcome. And then we want to invite Winju Kim, the UX design lead of Google. And last, we want to invite Ari Horian, the founder and CEO of Women Startup Lab. Then we want to invite Li Wenqi, the Chief Content Officer of Business Next Media Corp. Right now, they are all on stage, and please bravo for them. And now I'll turn the floor over to Li Wen.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's such a pleasure to be here to moderate this esteemed panel of experts who will be sharing their insights and perspective on the topic of tech empowerment and infinitive future. I'm Li Wen Qi Li Wen. I'm the Chief Content Officer of Business Next Corp. We publish 3 magazines, 数位时代, Manager Today, and Shopping Design. They respectively cover the news and topics from the business, design, and management. Once again, we have Ari, Andrew, Elena to join us, and we also have 2 new members from the Tech Geeks. I used to pronounce the Tech Geeks for this word. And I asked the member of the NSTC, and he told me that the Tech Geeks represents for girls in common science. Okay, the first question, for the next 60 minutes, we are going to further talk about the topics of entrepreneurship and careers and education and so on. So let's give a round of applause for our speakers today. Since we have so many entrepreneurs here on the stage, so the first question I would like to ask maybe 4 of the entrepreneurs on the stage. What made you want to start a business of your own? And maybe you have faced or encountered some challenges or obstacles during the process. So can you share some experience with us? So let's start with Ari.
So why I started, I wasn't thinking about wanting to have entrepreneurship. I just saw the need. And I saw the negative impact not having more women's idea are executed. And so the need and the possible negative impact that called me to take action. And the challenges. Challenges that I had was that particularly to women's topic, there's a lot of a buzzword. People use as a buzzword, oh, we need to do it. But it's very, very difficult to find the truly committed people who's willing to change their behavior and to put their money, to actually alter the behavior or design in a way that change the way we think, the way we work. And so I think any industry, but particularly mine, often there's a little bit I want to do it versus a lot of people are not quite committed. So that it's been kind of difficult industry to continue to convince people to take serious action.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next one, Elena.
So my story is a little bit similar. While I definitely always viewed myself as an entrepreneur, and even as a child would have kind of small business ideas, which maybe today would have been Etsy shops, I fell into it. Women Who Code was a small community group in San Francisco, and what happened is, we realized what we were doing was actually important, and the world deserved to have access to this incredible community that was happening in this small, almost felt like a secret group early on, and the world started talking about, hey, we need to teach girls to code, we need to teach women to code, but people weren't elevating the needs of women in the industry, and as I just said, the rates that people are leaving were so important. And one of those big things that were happening was that they were being viewed as not technical or more junior than they actually were. And so what we realized is, we need to bring this up. We need to make this accessible, and we need to elevate the needs of women in the industry so that we are bringing more women and more girls into an industry that supports them and helps them to thrive.
Okay, so next one for 加油.
Hello, sorry for my voice, because the weather changes fast these days. Why I started Taiwan Digital Diplomacy Association, it was because when I was doing media promotion job in some European human rights organization, and I saw that, the nonprofit organization is kind of an entrepreneurship as well. And I see the nonprofit organization in Europe, they are using Facebook, Instagram, and different social media platforms to communicate with refugees from different countries. And usually they would use different language in one single post, and which is very special for me because in Taiwan, we only use Facebook to communicate with Taiwanese only. But I just realized that maybe we can use social media platform to communicate with people in other countries as well. So when I come back to Taiwan, I hope we can be an organization. They are using social media. They can connect Taiwan with other countries' community online because technology is usually connect people together, connect everyone together. So we have this Taiwan Digital Diplomacy Association around 5 years already. And I think the challenges it lies in, because it was a very new concept when we first talked about digital diplomacy in 2017. No one knows what's that in Taiwan, and we have to spend a lot of effort to explain what we are really doing. And after 5 years, and also because of the pandemic, people started to see the importance and to see how to use digital tools to keep people connecting with each other, even when we cannot reach out to each other in reality. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next one, Siliana from Lidec Digital Technology.
Yeah, my company is LISEC, sorry. My story is totally different from the others because it's just very personal. Yeah, when I was about 40, and I told myself, if the age I retire is 65, I have to work more than 25 years. Then if I can spend that 25 years to leaving behind a career that can be succeeded and have some contribution to society, that would be very wonderful. So I discussed with my husband, and he has some ideas, so we decided to start out a business. Yeah. I don't have computer or engineering background, but my company is doing identity authentication solution. So I'm lucky, I think, because I succeed this career from my uncle. Yeah, he is the professional in cybersecurity, especially in identity authentication, this field. So, but I have a suggestion. If you have some ideas, you want to be an entrepreneur, the first thing you have to do is to improve your mental health, because every day you would face different kinds of challenges, maybe come from your colleagues, your employee, product development, or customers, their unreasonable requirements, even from your competitors' challenges. So you have to keep yourself, your mental, become and keep rationally analyze, deal with things optimistically. So the first thing, when you are ready to start a business, then my suggestion to you, especially for women, to improve your mental health. That's the key and the basic element before you think about the ideas to start up a business. Yeah.
Okay. So I heard Siliana says that she started up the company at 40 years old.
No. When I was 40.
When you was 40
years old.
Yes.
So, no.
And I would like to ask Ari, is it too late or too old to start out a company, or is never too late?
We are too old and too late. 10 years old is taking over. No, just kidding. I had one women entrepreneur. She came in when she was, I think, past 65.
And she said, well, other people think I'm too old, but I have a really good idea. And other people think, that, yeah, right, you just think that way. But then I was very curious, and so I interviewed her for Accelerator. She was a PhD in her field, bioscience. She's known for her field. She have traveled many parts of the world as a leader. She knew exactly what industry was missing, and she knew what it takes to build one. And she had her son willing to take on. And so other venture capitalists who didn't want to invest because, I mean, I had to tell her, but usually most of venture takes 10 years. And invest in somebody older, it's a risk for them. And sometimes, you know, it's not personal. And she was like, oh, don't worry, I'll fix this really fast before I passed away. So she actually did build. She wasn't what you think of, like high energy, socializing, articulate. That's what you might think most of entrepreneurship. She was into herself, very quiet, but she executed. And when she said, I'm going to execute, all those people came, actually gave her money. So we have to question, it's not about age. It's not about just what you think the idea. But if there is a market, it doesn't matter how old you are. And she proved it. And after a year and a half, she built it and she sold it. And she became very happy and probably pursue next startup.
Okay, thank you. So during the speeches, the three speakers they gave us, and I noticed that we have the positive mindsets. Maybe you have to believe everything is possible, or you have to confident in yourself. But I'd like to know everyone, panelists on the stage, how do you change your mind?
Can I?
Oh, excuse.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can I add on to
sure, of
Ari's
course.
point that whether it's ever late. I have daughters in high school, twin daughters. They're gonna go to college in 2 years. Thinking about that, not thinking about their college, thinking about me, I was thinking that, wow, that might mean I'm starting my second 20s. Think about it. When you are in 20s, you are free from your parents. You are finally free from your parents. When children go to their college, I'm finally free from my children. It's the same thing. You become independent, you have a freedom, you know what you want to do. So it's like, okay, in 2 years, I'm going to start my second 20s. Finally, I'm totally free from anyone, and I can really think about myself, what I want to do. When you become in my age, kind of know what you're good at and then what you want to do and then what society needs. It's really, really best time to think about truly what you want to build, whether this is starting your own business or something that really making your individual habit to your career. It's really, really good time. That the age is really, really good time.
Yeah, and just to add, that technology is so available, you don't have to show your face or even your name. Not that I'm encouraging, but yeah, the whole world is changing. So what you believe, what the entrepreneurship should be, is completely different. So I think she brought up a really, really good point. When you want to, when you have itchy to do something, that's the right time.
Yeah, I think they have shown us the confidence in themselves and tell us how to do anything that whenever or however we want to do. And so the next question I would like to ask every panelist, how do you change your mindset when you have self-doubts in yourself, or just like Andrew just mentioned during her speech, when you have the imposter syndrome and you are an introvert, you don't have confidence in everything. So how do you change the mindset? Since we already know all the positive traits, but it's hard, it's difficult to change our behavior and really do what we believe. So maybe this time we turn from the Cindiana.
Okay. I did a test when I was in university. Before university, I think I can do everything. And actually, I did everything I want to do. So, but I did a very big test. I built up my personality, which means maybe I'm a easily up-down person, but I decide to be an obstacle person in front of my colleagues, my classmates. Then I want to be a naive and happy and no worries person, and I did that. So no one knows I have trouble. I have bad times. They think I'm easygoing and I'm easy hangout, easy do everything. I'm an easy person. Yeah. So, and after graduation, I told them what I'm concerning and what I'm worried about, and they are surprised and say, "Hey, you did have something to worry." Yes. So, in that moment, I believe we can shape our personalities and we can change everything, even. That's personality. Yeah, you can shape and you can change. So every time when I see something or when I meet someone, they are not happy or they are struggling in something, I told them my story, that university story. Then they maybe can try or they start to believe they can change or they can do something they never thought about. Yeah, so just start a very simple step. Then you can get more confidence to complete what you want to achieve. Yeah.
Okay, so next one to Jayo.
Okay, I think self-doubt is constantly challenges for everyone. If you are doing something innovative or if you are doing something new, you will always doubt yourself about why is this the correct thing to do? Is it the right thing to do? And especially when there's no one has ever done this before, you don't know how the future looks like. You don't know where you can achieve because you are doing a new thing. And for us, because digital diplomacy is a new area, it's a new field in Taiwan also. So when we are promoting digital diplomacy in Taiwanese society, we are always questioned by government, we are questioned by people, and sometimes we are questioned by ourselves too. Because people keep asking, is digital diplomacy really helpful for Taiwan's political situation? Is this really helpful for Taiwan's international situation? So when we got these questions, we have to be very clear of our own vision. We have to believe the value of what we are doing. Because if you believe in the value of what you are doing, you will become brave for what you are pursuing for. And so because we are doing something new, so whenever we started a new project, we would have meeting together with our colleagues, and we would set up milestones, and we will also talk to each other about our imagination about where we can achieve. For example, we have held a football game. We have hold a football game to all the foreign communities in Taiwan. Before that, no one has ever played football before, but we are going to hold a 2,000 people football game. So we watch a lot of YouTube videos together, and we watch a lot of articles together. So whenever we are going to hold a new event or we are going to connect Taiwan with new cultures, we will watch a lot of YouTube videos to make our imagination look more real. and to strengthen, also to build up our confidence. So if you feel self-doubted when you're doing something new, I would suggest that try to find the way to make your imagination become real, like to find some reference or to find some role models, to look at their stories, or to check out those articles to build up your own confidence. Then you will overcome all of it. Thank you.
Thank you. And then? Yeah. So I'm an optimist, and I'm also very solution-oriented. So I have strong feelings about how to reframe imposter syndrome, which I certainly feel. I know probably many people in this room will feel it. And for me, it's actually just shifting it to be an opportunity. So I don't, and probably many of you don't want to be bored in what you do. And so when you feel that feeling of, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I belong here, it's your growth opportunity. It means that there's still interesting things about what you're trying to accomplish or the role that you're in, so that you can still learn. You shouldn't be applying to or in jobs where you have all or more of the requirements. If you do, you should be thinking about what your next promotion is or what the next job you're going to take is. If you're feeling as though you don't belong, as though you're not good enough for the role, it just means there's more to learn and there's some excitement still to be had in that role. And that means there's a lot more for you to accomplish in it.
Okay. Andrew?
Yeah. I'd like to start by saying career is a lifelong marathon. If you are in 20s, like many are in 20s, you are going to have 50 more years of your career. Whether you like your current job or not, don't worry, that's not your last job for your life. Many of us will have 5 different jobs, 10 different jobs, for our life. So don't worry, you're stuck to the current the job. You can change. You will change throughout your life. So try different things, explore, and then think about whether this is right for me or not. I don't know. That kind of thinking is very right approach to find your way. Try explore many things, but really important thing is that take time to think about why. You need to identify not just a job, not just a title. You need to identify what aspect of the job that I like, what aspect that I don't like. When you explore multiple things, identify any common patterns that you enjoy and you don't enjoy. I said I have daughters, so I can use them as an example, Hannah and Yuna. When Yuna was 10 years old, she learned the piano. She was pretty good at it. As a mom, I thought that she was genius. Oh my God, Yuna, you're gonna be the world's best pianist. But it turned out the piano just well suited with Yuna's personality. Piano, if you think about it, produce very stable, predictable, consistent sound as long as you follow the note. And that's Yuna. Yuna likes very logical, rule-based, predictable, controlled, analytic thing. So the piano really worked well with Yuna. There was no question, you just follow note, and that will make predictable sound. When it comes to Hannah doesn't like math. It's not because she doesn't like numbers. She doesn't like when there is only one correct answer. She likes more open-ended area. So she likes drawings, paintings, writings that she can debate with different ideas. So when you do certain things, don't just pay attention to the surface of the job. You need to go deeper in that, and then really, really analyze and identify what aspect am I enjoying it? Why am I feeling this emotion? What makes me enjoy based on my personality, my tendency, my temperament? You need to have this link. That's my advice.
So, Eric?
Yes. So when I started my startup, every single moment, every part of my body, every cell was working for my startup. And having that negative thoughts was destruction for me. Imagine if you can work towards something you want to do, and every time this negative thoughts about yourself, it makes you step back and doubt. It's exhausting. So one day I told myself, okay, enough is enough. So I wrote it out, all those negative thoughts about myself or things that I don't feel so good at, and then keep doubting. And so I wrote it, and I wrote it, and I told my friends over and over, to the point I was sick of it. So how many of you had a favorite food you ate so much you didn't want to eat anymore? Right? So I suggest you do that. But also, don't just deal with it right in front of you, because you don't realize how toxic effect on you. I think you'd rather spend your energy and your mind for something you are good at. So every moment you get pulled into, which is automatic brain, you have to bring your conscious thoughts to say, okay, what am I doing to me? I'm just taking the toxic pill. So I suggest to overload yourself to the point that none of those are straight. It's not a big deal anymore. So that's one. Two, quickly, we have a role model. I used to have a role model I look up to, but hindsight, I always feel like I will never be that person, or I'm not never good enough. To the point, my journey of a startup, I wanted to quit because I just felt like I wasn't good enough, and I'm not a good leader, and I'm a total failure. Then I could have just choose to quit. Then I realized, wait a minute, that entrepreneur, that CEO in the Silicon Valley, he lie and cheat, and he does that illegal stuff. And I realized there's so many entrepreneurs out there or leader who doesn't do the right things. So why should I give up? We should be the last standing entrepreneur who try to do the right thing. And that should be the pride you should have, not just to be successful. So as long as I'm making a conscious decision good for the society, I will be standing with you all.
Thank you. So the next question, all of you haven't been so successful in your careers, and I would like to know, do you make any career planning? This question is especially for Unju, because you've been working for so many global companies, and you have changed so many jobs and making progress in the corporate ladder. So maybe we start from Andrew, and then everyone can share us, how do you develop your leadership skills in your organization? Do you always want to be a leader, or the leadership skills that we can learn, or they are born with us? So Unju first, and excuse me, I would also like to, maybe you might have known that Unju, she published the book in Taiwan last year.
When was it released?
Yeah, I think it's called 胆识, 平安出版社. It's her personal stories, and it's also going to publish in Japan today, right? So congratulations. So let's start with Andrew.
Yes, so Google is my 7th company when it comes to full-time job, including interns and a contractor job. It's my 11th job. Whether I always wanted to be a leader, no, that's not me. Whether I wanted to work for a global company, no, that was not what I dreamed for. My secret is just find what I like, what I enjoy, and just do what I can do today. That's how I made it this far. There's no even really secret. I chose my design career. little bit of my personal story. So when I was really the young kids, I have 2 older brothers who are good at studying. They get top scores, and I was not that good. My mother always told me that it's okay, it's understandable. You're a woman. Women don't make a good score. I was depressing. If that's because of I'm a woman, what can I do? I can't change my gender. Okay. And my middle school teacher, one day, he told me that you are very good at drawing. You're very good at it. That was the very first time that I heard I am doing something good. And then that just opened my mind that I have something that I am good at it. And then I started to see myself, why am I sticking to my brothers, what they are good at it? I need to look myself, what I am good at it. And then I enjoy drawing, I enjoy design. So I decided I'm gonna do design. My parents, disagree. No. Stick to the academic field. Just go to good college. That will guarantee to be a good wife. I don't know the correlationship with a good college and a good wife, but that was her thinking. That will guarantee you to be a good wife. That's good enough. No, Mom, I want to be a designer. I do like design. I want to try. And I just followed what I wanted. And every day, when I came to the United States, that was not my plan. I just followed my husband. My husband got a college admission from university in Illinois. So I just followed him. But then I had to find my way. Okay, I'm here. I don't speak English, but I want to continue my career. What am I supposed to do? So I searched it. I find out, the graduate program that I wanted to continue. So I sent out admission. I applied at school. I even didn't have necessary TOEFL score, but I went to school and I begged them, I'll be your good student. Please let me get in. I did it. Anyway, so that's the thing, that find what you like, listen your heart, and then do what you can do today. Don't think about what happened yesterday. You failed yesterday. That's a normal thing. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will happen tomorrow. Just focus on today and then what you can do, and just live daily. Then after 26 years, like me, you can get there.
Thank you. So next, Elena.
For me, I'm very ambitious.
So you always want to be a leader.
I always wanted a new challenge. When Ari asked us to share what we wanted to do, mine is about trying new things. And so I started off my career, I moved to Germany. I had a congressional scholarship, and then I said, I'm going to get a job here. So I had to prove why they were hiring me rather than anyone else in the EU for this job that I was getting. And so I had this challenge, this felt like a new adventure where I had to prove myself and I had to achieve things. And then I said, okay, I'm ready for my next challenge. And I had the opportunity to move out to the Bay Area. And I'd had a really strong career up until that point. And people looked at me and they were like, oh, you haven't worked for Google, you haven't worked for Microsoft, who are you? You work for Puma, the shoe company? And so I had my new challenge. And so I started teaching myself to code and, learning about the tech industry and building, getting involved in community building within the tech industry. And so I kind of got my tech credibility when I a small startup that I was at got acquired by Yahoo. And so I had that moment of, oh, okay, now you've achieved something in tech. But then I went shortly after that and said, I've been building this community, Women Who Code, and my nights and weekends, I think there's something there. If I take a risk, if I pursue that challenge, I think, if it doesn't work out in 6 months, I'll be able to get another job. And so about 10 years ago now, I took that plunge and I went to do entrepreneurship full time. And I think there's two really fulfilling things that need for adventure is with startups, as you're growing, the company is completely different. I feel like we've called it Women Who Code 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, because it's like you're running an entirely different company year after year as you grow, as your team grows, as your organization grows. And so it's really helped to keep my spirit of wanting to try something new. And then I also am a mom now, so I feel like I have a second full-time job and figuring out what it means to be a parent and to raise your children. And so that's my other adventure that I have. That's part of my life, but it feels, like it's feeding my career.
So the next, Jiayou, maybe the youngest panelist on the stage. What's your career planning? You start up as a nonprofit organization.
I don't really have a career plan for myself because but I know what I like to do and I always go for that. I started to do nonprofit organization jobs since I was in college. I was helping some nonprofit organization to marketing them in Taiwanese society and also to raise funds, and I realized I was a bit good at it. And after I graduate, I have tried many different jobs. I'm a very curious person. I'm interested in many different things, but I don't really know which one is the one I'm really good at. But I always want to. I always give myself the opportunity to try because I feel life is short, and as one of the panelists has mentioned that after 20 you are free from your parents, and before a girl going to marriage, this is a time that you totally belongs to yourself. So I want to do everything before I go into marriage and after 20. So I've tried many different jobs. Like I have been nonprofit organization worker for refugees, and I have been media fixer for foreign medias, and I have been teacher in film schools. And I think the process is totally worth it because every job I have done, I pick up something that I really loved about. For example, when I work in film school, I know I really love videos and I love to interact with students, young people. And when I was doing the foreign media fixers, I know I'm really good at communicate with people from different cultures or media, between media and government sectors. So after all, I kind of create a job for myself. It includes everything. For now, my job have to communicate with foreign medias, and my job have to teach lessons for our volunteers, and we have to create some new project for government as well. So I didn't set up the goal that I want to do digital diplomacy since I was young, but I kind of find out the path for my career in the process of doing different job and different adventures. Thank you.
Okay, so next maybe Ari.
Okay, since I support many folks to pursue entrepreneurship, younger people ask me, so should I just start doing a startup? People are surprised the fact that I would say, wait a minute. Just like school, you learn something, being a professional world, you also need some place that you can learn a lot of things. And after the college, I worked at IBM. And I did not like it at all. Everything was decided at headquarters. There was no creativity in where I was as a marketing. So I worked there for 2 years and absolutely hated. I left, then I love IBM because I did not realize what amazing ethic, practice, process that they have built that kept me learning from the people who are actually amazing. I thought all those managers was not fun, but they were very professional. The word they choose, the way they process, how thoughtful they are, and that they were also very aware of the legal issue. So they treated employee knowing those legal aspects as well. Then after IBM, leaving thinking IBM is bad and went to all the startup. I learned a lot of hands-on experience there. Lots of argument. Some days I cry, but I loved it. I was staying up late, I challenged, I made a mistake, and so it was right for me. But because I was at IBM, I learned so much of a professionalism, legal issue, and the process, how important that is, that I'm more aware of how the company should operate at the startup better than some of the CEO. And so in the 20s, I say go out there, learn why those big companies are so successful, and learn the professionalism and ethic and all those things that you need to gain, then go out startup. Of course, you could be swapped either way. Also, as a CEO, I hire many, many people. And those who came from some of the big company, we sometimes think they're too rigid. They can adapt to the crazy, fast, unpredictable environment. Some of them just not a fit, and then it's best that they quit. It's good fit for both that they don't work this sort of environment. But some of them really coming with a solid skill of communication, reporting, the organization. So we need both. And before you kind of decide, hey, the startup is cool, also ask yourself, am I preparing myself for the best, to see best of myself? And so part of a career is trying many things, but also people are paying you to gain really, really good experience and learn from some of the amazing manager. That was one of the best company I work. After pursuing my career and building my company as a women's startup lab as well, I worked with many IBM people. So the company I hated the most, I ended up even marrying IBM guy, so you never know.
So Celiana, would you like to share some thoughts?
Yes, keeping open-minded and curiosity, and don't set limit to yourself. Yeah, just I mentioned, I don't have engineering and computing background, but my company is a software company. So how do I deal with the things with those guys, especially very smart guys? So example, yesterday, my Thai partner dropped into my company after we discussed about the integration of products of two parties. And he asked me, are you engineer? And I say, no. I say no. And the one who sit next to me is the real technical guy. And then my CTO replied him, Celiane, enjoy to work with technical team. When I have free time, I just with them and talk about the product development, talk about the specs, and ask them why, what's going on, and ask, can it be done in this way or can it be done in that way? So I keep open-minded, and I am a curiosity person, so I always ask why, and always ask, can we do this in this way, or can we do that in that way? So when I talk about the technology, I can be very professional, even I don't have computing or engineering background. So, and the other thing I can share is keep general persistence Yeah, this is I think it's the key to success in environment in different fields. So the people come from different fields, and you try to get along with them well and to build up their interaction relationship well with them. So general persistence, I think that's a very good character and behavior and attitude to communicate with others. Yeah.
Okay, so the next questions I would like to ask, as leaders in your teams or organizations, how do you cultivate an environment to help women grow and thrive? Do you have, your teams or your companies, do you have any initiatives about DE&I? I mean, the diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the first one, Elena? Maybe you can also tell us some success story or some accomplishments you are most proud of, since you've been helping women successful and making impact in the world.
Yeah. I mean, our whole organization is focused on DEI. So I will say, even in our organization, we bring in thought leaders to give talks to our team. We have a smaller team; it's about 30, and so we'll do trainings, continuous trainings around DEI topics. But we also are a DEI organization. We go out and we deliver talks, and so the impact piece that I would say I'm most proud of is a program that we actually didn't start out to create, and it's our leadership program. So our volunteers at Women Who Code, the people who are volunteers for a network or for one of our technical tracks, or who give us who give a talk, they are practicing leadership, and they're going out and having a huge impact in their communities, but then they have a huge impact in their career. And what we see is usually within a year of having the opportunity to practice leadership, they get promotions, pay increases, channels of dialogue to executives inside of their organization, press mentions. We've had people get advisory board roles and book deals. And one of the stories that really stands out to me is one of our leaders who was a master's degree in CS, but incredibly shy. The first time I saw her at a Women Who Code event, she said, "Hi, my name's Erica. Feel free to ask me questions," and then kind of sat down as quickly as possible. And within a year of standing in the front of a group, she was invited to give a tech talk, and gave a tech talk on a stage to a standing room only crowd. So that evolution, that acceleration of leadership is the thing that I'm most proud of in our impact.
Yes, the next one. Jayo, do you have some stories to share, or?
Actually, we are a very small team. We have around 12 people only, and we are women-dominated. Most of our team members are women, and I think because women are good at communication, and usually in nonprofit organizations, like most of the nonprofit organization workers are female. So for like how to cultivate the environment that everyone can feel more comfortable to working here, like we care not only about the capacity of working, we also care about how to balance the lifestyle and our work. For example, our teams, we will go picnic sometimes, and also we will have some like handcraft time together to share our interests together, to share about like what we usually do apart from work. Like whenever we have a long vacation, after we coming back to the office after a long vacation, we will share with each other like what do we do in the vacation, and like what we would like to do maybe next time when we have the team building time, what we would like to do together. So I think our working environment is quite open, and it's a very female environment, and we are open to talk and communicate with each other. Thank you.
So Wenju, as the design lead at Google, Do you have any initiatives to promote the D&I?
Well, I think that it's kind of common, and a lot of big companies have a good practice and a policy around the DI matter. So like Google is the same thing. DI is really core of mission statement, philosophy, how we work together, how we think about our product, etc. I want to say two additional things on top of other panelists' the comment. Google has, DI is not just a policy or something that we have to aware. Google actually rewards DI activity. So, it's in the system. It really matters a lot. So when we do annual evaluation, performance evaluation, we reward for any community contribution activity that individual team member did. And then in that community contribution, there is a DI portion. Is there any DI related activities that you contributed? You get reward by doing it. So company literally mean DEI is important. Please contribute to the community with a DEI in mind. So it's not just a fancy word. Google actually rewards DEI seriously. And the second thing that I want to mention is that it doesn't come free, or it doesn't come from other people. Every one of us have to participate in DEI. So I am a big advocate when it comes to DEI at my work, that I do offer, I initiate. So I don't participate, I initiate coffee chat, the fireside chat, any open forum, calling introverted Asian woman, shy person, please come. This is a safe place that we can talk about. Do you have a problem with promoting yourself? Do you have a challenge stating your achievement for your performance evaluation? Let's talk about it. We can all. I may not have a good answer to you, but knowing I'm not alone, that itself really, really helpful. So I open a lot of one-on-one mentoring, coaching, etc. So it's really urge everyone that it's not conceptual word, it's not something that other people will do. Every one of us are responsible to make diversity, equity, and inclusion culture in our society.
Yes. Cindiana?
Okay, my company is very small, small size. Yeah, but we have subsidiaries in Tokyo, Netherlands, Hague, and Gothenburg. So in my company, we, especially in my industry, female is really few and fewer. Yeah, so to respect female, this topic is really happened in my industry, even my company, because we don't have so many female workers. So, but my colleagues, especially our D teams, they always ask me to hire more young girls, female workers into the company. But in this industry, it's very difficult. But what I can share is about how we communicate and cooperate and sharing ideas with colleagues from different areas, different countries, different cities, different time zones. Yeah, because Netherlands, Gothenburg, Japan, Taiwan, and now we are going to have a new office in US. That's very different time zone. So we use technology tools to communicate with each other and to co-work with each other. But we will find a time, even it's midnight in Taiwan, or it's midnight in US, or in other European countries. We will find a time, at least a week, to meet together from internet, from Teams or Google Meet and share ideas and share lives, share habits. So to try to keep and maintain the relationship, even most of people are in different areas. Yeah.
So Eric?
Yes, so I have been involved with a Japanese company this past year or so, and topic of those, how can we promote more women? And I don't know if this happens, same thing happened to US, but one of the company that I also work closely with, they had 40 top female employee that is ready and being groomed for executive position. And they thought they were doing really good. They were respected in Japan as a progressive company. And then they took personality test of those women. Turns out they were 90% same type of personality. And there's another company, tech company, they also had, we have a 9 female executive to be. And also, they were all kind of similar personality. What I'm trying to say is that company are run by male leaders. And so they unconsciously ended up picking a women leader that are what they like, or easy to manage, or respectful, or obedient and smart. I'm just suggesting those things could happen when we were in more of deeply cultured, the role play has been still around for men and women. So even though, yeah, the number shows we have 40 and 50, but when you really open up the lid, those are all similar type of women that possibly men rather keep. And easy to manage. So, those are things that we have to be conscious. Don't get just sucked into the number, but really, when you talk about diversity, is the company as a whole have to honor and be able to play with and foster different type of personality, both for men and for women and all others.
Can I just add one thing to that? So one of the practices that we have, and I think your point is so important, is about really reviewing all of your internal practices and continuously updating them with a lens of inclusion. And so, they thought they were doing great, but it turns out that you still need to be doing more. You need to be identifying ways that you can create more inclusivity in each of your processes. And that's one of the things that we're committed to doing, is continuously reviewing with a lens for inclusion. And we bring in external people to hold us accountable, so we aren't just so used to the way we do it that we feel like, oh, this is definitely the inclusive way, because we know there's always further to go. There's always new things that break as you take new steps forward.
Can I add one episode? It just reminds me something that at Google, we have a unique promotion process. It's a self-promotion. You have to raise your hand, I'm ready to go to promotion. Several years ago, HR conducted an analysis, the rate of promotion comparison for men versus women. It turned out that men are more promoted than women. So they try to dig further. Why? Do we have a fair evaluation system? Do we have anything that we have to address? It turned out that women don't raise their hand saying, I'm ready to go to promo. So this whole self-promo, like raising hand process, the actual evaluation was fair. The actual criteria, whether you meet the next level capability, et cetera, do you have enough impact, et cetera, that was fair. The problem was that actually pool was that women were so low by raising that I'm ready to go promo. So company did a lot of a campaign to women to encourage, say you're ready to go to promo. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to meet all single criteria. as long as you demonstrate few elements, you are qualified to be considered as a next level. So please raise your the hand. You may not get that, but it's okay. Just keep trying. So it was a company-wide campaign by every single leader advocating, not one time, not second time. It has to be repeated many, many times to finally female employees understand they can do it. When they see other women are raising their hand, it just made another woman to feel, yeah, I'm ready, at least. So it's really, really important that we make this as a system, and then sharing this community, the message is really important.
Yeah, thank you. Time's up, and I have to end the panel's discussion here. And I believe all of you have learned a lot from the sharing and insights from our panel today. One takeaway for today, and that's the inspiration I have got from today's panel. I think the power of imagination is not in the creative side. It's to have confidence that the future is unlimited and to believe that you are unique. And most important of all, that you are possible to do everything and never say impossible. So give a big round of applause to our panel, please.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for your participation. Wish you all the best and have a good day. Thank you.
Really thank you for the special distinguished guests and for sharing your great insight and providing us so much suggestions. Now I would like to invite all the panelists and the moderator to take a group photo together, and please take off your mask. Thank you so much. Please follow the photographer's instruction and look the right side. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you. 再次感谢现场所有的贵宾莅临今天女杰斯好科技国际论坛，祝大家有一个愉快的一天。同时提醒呢，大家有租借呢口译机的朋友，请记得归还您的口译机，拿回您的证件。谢谢大家，我们下次见，拜拜。